sometimes you get a watch that when you look at the website, the photos don't do it justice, and this is one of those watches because on the website, I've got to be honest, it does nothing for me. It really doesn't, but something caught my attention with this watch. First and foremost, it's a sports watch with 150 meters of water resistance, but if you look at the case shape, it's not your standard sports watch case. It's more of a cushion case. It's squared off, as you can see, and coming out of Ireland, this is a first for me because it's a green watch. It's an Irish watch, and when the watch got delivered, the bracelet was actually on the wrong way around. Now, I don't know whether that's an Irish thing, but I swapped it around quick smart. Now, all jokes aside, the watch has actually been quite surprising on the wrist. I've had it for a better part of nearly 2 months, guys. Seriously, it's a prototype, and I've been wearing it, and every time I finish up with reviews with other watches, I've been putting this back on the wrist. It's just so comfortable. Now, it's not a perfect watch. There are some areas which I think could support room for improvement, and I will share that with you guys. So without further ado, let's check this thing out. Now, the watch in question is from Ireland, and the name, look, I'm going to probably stuff it up here, but I'll give it a crack. Dunlang. I think that's how it's pronounced. But whatever the case, it's a 38mm sports watch, and it sits bigger on the wrist because of its cushion case design. And I really wanted to get this hands on to see what it's like. And the biggest surprise for me has been the comfort factor. The legibility has been great. That green sunburst emerald dial has also been a delight. Now, there's some of the heroes of this watch, but there are areas on this piece that definitely need attention, and I'm going to share that with you today. Now, you saw the pop-up. Dunlang has sponsored this video, so I will of course leave all the links in the description section of this video, and by the time you get to see this video, the watch will be launching on this particular date. There will also be a 10% discount voucher which I'll leave in the description section for you guys. Now, the first thing that I want to share with you guys is the physical specs. You've got a 38mm case diameter with a case height of 10.8. The lug to lug is 45.4 and a lug width of 20. Now, the crown is a 5.8mm signed screw down crown. The watch offers 150 meters of water resistance, and the total weight size to my 18cm wrist on this bracelet comes in at exactly 135 grams. Now, I did say that this watch is comfortable, and on the wrist, it has been one of the heroes. It is so pleasurable to wear. As a sports watch, I've not even known it's there most of the time, so I suppose that cushion case, the squared off edges, it really aids in stability. That case height coming in at 10.8, again, really nice. Now, you see the bracelet, you've got a taper from about 20 down to 18, a nice counterbalance on that clasp. So overall, as a sports watch, I've worn it as it is. It is a prototype. I've not had a need to adjust it. I've adjusted it once. It's been great. And speaking of that bracelet, I think it deserves high praise for many reasons, because as you can see, it does fold straight down. You've got a really amazing articulation of this. It really just wears beautifully. You've got proper screw pins, a proper milled swivel and clasp, and you've got 3 micro adjustments. And that's probably the only area that the bracelet is let down. It doesn't feature a toolless clasp. Now, the only thing to be aware of about those screw pins, as you notice, you've got heads on one side and on the other. So you're going to have to get 2 screwdrivers and require a lot of patience. So keep that in mind. Now, if we have a close look at that dial layout, it's your classic 2 batons at the top, nice and evenly spaced. And as you can see, the minute hand reaches all the way to that chapter ring, and a wonderful orange tip seconds hand, just to give the watch a little bit of finesse and colour. And from my understanding, the watch will come with 3 different colorways. At the moment, I've got the emerald green. It'll also have an electric blue and a midnight black. But being an Irish brand, I thought you can't go wrong with green. It's a beautiful sunburst style. It's got that orange tip seconds hand. I think it's appropriate. Now, having a close look at that crystal, it's a double dome sapphire. It's got anti-reflective coating on the underside. I've not had any issues. It's been doing a really great job throughout the last month and a bit, so I haven't had any complaints there. Now, if you turn the watch over, you can see there's a display caseback. And behind that Sapphire Exhibition caseback is a Miyota 9039, a proper no-date complication, around 42 hours power reserve, and this one has been running on point at about +4 seconds per day. Now, what about the lume? Well, the watch offers Swiss Superluminova C3, and as you can see, the handset is very nice, very bright. Those markers, they do seem to be trailing behind a little, but do keep in mind this is a prototype. Hopefully those markers get a little bit more lume in the production versions. Now before I get onto my gripes, what is the price? Well, on launch, the price is going to be £450. That's about 865 Aussie dollars. Now that will include postage worldwide, but as I mentioned earlier, there is a discount code for an additional 10% off, and this is valid until the 20th of May. And on that note, what are my gripes of this watch? Well, as I did mention, that clasp, I really would have wanted to see a toolless micro adjustment here. Personally, I've set it up once. I've not moved it for literally a month and a half on the wrist, so it's not been an issue for me, but as we are spoiled for choice, micro brands, they are offering them at this price point. I think that should have been here as well. Secondly, the lume. I'd like to see a little bit more lume on those markers. Again, I'm keeping in mind that this is a prototype, so maybe there will be a difference in the production version. And probably the last gripe for me is the price. It's not an inexpensive watch, and I think for that price, just if they'd included that micro adjustment clasp, it really would have hit this out of the park. The comfort has been great, the legibility, the screw down crown has been wonderful. It's been a real enjoyable watch on the wrist. And that's why I've had it as a go-to, just as a beater throughout the month and a half. And it's been great. It's been really good. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Something from Ireland, something green, and just a couple of little tweaks here and there could have easily made a world of difference on this piece. So thanks for watching. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section. Be well and safe, and we'll see you in the next one.